Welcome to Cross the Water Podcast, where you better find something safe to do, my boy. Now, look, I've had a dope weekend to the point where I think I wasn't here last week. So if y'all missed me, then just go back and watch the other episode where we talked about religion. You know, the people versus the church. That was the last episode. But this episode, it's going to get spicy. Because I love when my childhood comes to visit me and my adulthood. And with that being said, y'all put your hands together, make a whole lot of noise, clapping shit for one of my really good friends. I want to say Doron Battle, but just calling you that ain't sufficient, doctor.
Ain't enough.
It ain't sufficient enough. I gotta say Dr. Battle. That is sexy. Dr. Battle. Doctor. I can only imagine what y'all doing at home.
You gotta chill.
All right. Y'all put your hands together. Welcome Dr. Battle to the show. Dr. Doron Battle, childhood friend, activist, advocate for our children, black man, beautiful spirit. And then the degrees, BA, master's in education, special education, and then doctorate or PhD in education.
Educational leadership, organizational educational leadership.
And this is the man right here you want to be around your little black children. Or your children in general. But y'all already know that if you're watching this show, who I'm talking to. Okay, long as you know. So with that being said, welcome. I love you. I thank you for coming. I know you don't pop out often. So
I don't. It takes somebody special to get me here.
Am I special enough?
You special enough.
Ooh, I love that you're here though. So look, we're gonna get into you, but before we get into you, I can't do what I do without addressing this Diddy and Cassie stuff. I just have to, housekeeping. So before I get into that, I want y'all to know that if y'all haven't been paying attention or you're not well versed in social media and things like that, y'all, long story short, we found out that Diddy did it. There was a video released recently that was absolutely disgusting. And we'll put actually, I take that back. In an effort to not exploit a black woman, any further, we will not be putting that video in this segment. Because that's a no for us. Mm-hmm. But the video, the proof, the evidence alone, I'm just completely disgusted with what's been happening. And so today, Cassie finally spoke out. And what Cassie said was, "Thank you for all the love and support from my family, friends, strangers, and those I have yet to meet. The outpouring of love has created a place for my younger self to settle and feel safe now. But this is only the beginning. Domestic violence is the issue. It broke me down to someone I never thought I would become. With a lot of hard work, I'm becoming better today, but I will always be recovering from my past. Thank you to everyone that has taken the time. This matters seriously." Blah, 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 blah. She said some other things. But with that being said, first of all, I want to say, Cassie, my love goes out to you. My heart goes to you. As someone who suffered from sexual abuse, domestic abuse, and all type of other abuses, I can only imagine how it feels. No, shit. F that. Where's my bell? I do that when I cuss. F that. I know exactly how it feels to tell someone your story and it not be believed until they actually see physical evidence. So as someone that has gone through that personally, I thank you for coming forward. I thank you for saying something about it. And I hope that as you go through your healing process, you can, at this point, heal at peace. Did you see the video, though?
Yeah, I seen it.
That was wild, right?
Yeah, he was wild.
And it's hurtful. Like, listen, y'all, I am 100% pro-black, and I don't want nothing out there, like, impacting my black men. Mm-hmm. And I'm so disappointed in Diddy.
Yeah, if he did it, he did it, though.
He did it, though. But I'm just like, I'm disappointed in him for everything that's going to be affected by him because of what he's done. Like, what happens when they snatch Biggie catalog? Because no one is considering this. What happens to the backlash from the people that are connected to Diddy when this goes down? Because they done already started snatching his music. The legacy, and I said this, if y'all been paying attention, like 3 shows ago, I told y'all that whether he did it or not, his legacy is never going to be the same.
Yeah, it's tarnished.
You just embarrassed us in front of white people, bro. Real bad. Mm-hmm. With proof.
Hard evidence.
So irritated with him.
Yeah.
So irritated with him. But We're not gonna spend too much time there. Like I said, a lot of times we gotta just do stuff for housekeeping purposes. However, to anybody that's suffering from domestic violence, sexual abuse, sexual assault, again, my heart goes with you. And if you ever want to call somebody and you don't know who to call, just call me. You can find me anywhere on social media at Cocaina. That's Kokayyeena. If you reach out to me, I can reach you out to people who can get some shit done. Point blank, period. That's it. To my women who've yet to come forward, please come forward. Because this is tough. As a woman, this is tough. And also, just before, because y'all know that I always leave y'all with a scientific or a documented fact. 1 in 4 women are sexually assaulted. The number of men, we don't know. You know why? Because men don't equate their experiences to sexual assault.
Yeah, that could be the catalyst to what Diddy got going on.
Hello, somebody.
You know?
Because there's a lot of unnecessary over-sexualized traumas that our men experience as well, that is not documented as sexual assault because men don't talk about it.
Correct.
When I got into these conversations with my brothers, I don't know how comfortable you are with that, but have you ever had a situation with that? If you're comfortable saying that.
No.
Okay. When I talk to my brothers, my dads, most of them have been molested. Right? And they would be like, oh, well, I was talking to women when I was 16 and she was 30. And I was like, yeah, that's great that you were molested. And they was like, I wasn't molested because I came into her. You weren't the adult. So you were absolutely molested. I don't give a damn who came onto who.
But and I don't disagree, but it's also sexual education. Sex education is pivotal, So to a 16-year-old who feels like a man, any boy feels like a man at 16, he may not categorize it as that. But
it was, though.
Legally.
And the thing about not categorizing it, let me tell you why that's dangerous. Okay. All right, so this is the real, y'all. Because y'all know I'm transparent talking about my own situations. So I had been being molested since I was like 5. By the time I got to a certain age, because I was groomed, it had transferred over into sex. This is the reality, right? And once we got there, by the time I got to therapy, I was in therapy telling them it wasn't rape or molestation because I had consented.
Touché.
Can you consent at that age? That was my therapist stance. If you 20 and I'm 15, did I really consent?
I can't answer that because that's not my lived experience.
Right.
But what I will say is slavery was legal too.
Touché.
So
touché.
It's a double-edged sword.
It is. It's a hard one too.
I mean, it is, but again, slavery was legal.
And we ain't trying to.
The thing that people enjoy the most socially, at least black people right now, is probably Don Julio. Right, and at one point, alcohol wasn't legal.
Yeah.
Just for perspective.
That's true.
Negating anything you said, but from the legal standpoint of it, it gets slippery.
It does.
Right, but morally,
it's wrong. Right? It's hell.
But morals don't always show up in the court of law.
They don't. They rarely show up apparently in the court of law
because that's what the law was written for.
So yeah, I just for me personally, overall, I'm just disappointed because Bad Boy has a hell of legacy that I just don't want to see destroyed. And I hate, and it's going to be. That's just the bottom line.
It'll be destroyed. I think it's slightly bigger because we put a lot of our cultural power into celebrities.
That's the one.
Yeah.
People that you don't even know.
You don't know dude. You don't know him at all. You don't know his character. You don't know what he went through. None of that. So,
well, we know his character now. We didn't know it.
We know a part of it, right? And he still has some influence. That's why he was able to do it
quietly.
So long.
Yeah. I
think the bigger thing is finding a neighbor of yours and put that same power into them.
I agree.
Because it's we all, especially if you grew up the way we grew up in that saturated poverty.
It's oversaturated poverty.
Yeah. It's some superheroes in that poverty.
It is though. It is. So our heart and love goes out to Cassie, and again, and don't come with the cancel me shit, because my heart and love goes out to Diddy too, because the reality is that man is about to lose everything he's worked for. Should he lose it? Yes, I do. I'm not going for what's right or wrong or what is and not, but at this point now, my heart's crying for both sides of the story.
Yeah, he'll be a victim to something.
To some, not to this though. With that being said, y'all hold tight. Go listen to some music. If y'all watching us live, go watch the little commercial that's about to pop up. We'll be right back, all right? Because we got some shit to talk about. Welcome back, y'all. So look, we are at Cross the Water podcast, y'all, and today with me, I got my childhood friend. I don't even know what to call him because he keep on telling him he don't want to say his own name, and I'm like, listen, I just know you as D, but the reality is that man done went so far. Is it doctor? Something about doctor, but Churchill sound good together, but I don't know about that. It's given. I'm gonna just call doctor the rest of the episode. I ain't need just doctor. I'm like doc. That's you.
Doc will work.
Because it's giving power. It's giving. I did some shit you couldn't do. Well, they could have done it.
They could have done
but they ain't do it. That's the one.
Yeah.
And I love that. So look, y'all, again, put your hands together. Show some love and support to my baby, Mr. Dr. Doron Battle. Welcome to the show.
Appreciate you, Joe.
All right, so we gonna jump right in because look, just so y'all know, the conversations off camera has been so wild. We really should have just propped the camera up, recorded our convo, and then let y'all get into it. But listen, it's so raw, we can't even give y'all all that. If you get into it like that, you be getting secrets and things that we're not comfortable with sharing. But the little bit we willing to share, we gonna do it today. So D, is it okay if I call you D? They don't know. Okay. I'm just making sure. Can I be informal?
Yeah,
okay.
For sure.
Okay. All right, so tell the people about you, where you from, what you do, how you got here.
All right, so I'm Doron.
You said your name.
I'm Doron.
Okay.
Just Doron. For this, I'm just
Doron.
Recently graduated.
He be Coach D on the low too.
I be coaching a little bit.
Yeah.
Recently graduated from Virginia State University in a doctoral program.
Put a pause on that. Feet. Yes. I love it. Okay,
right.
go ahead.
In the School of Education.
Yes.
And so from Churchill, met Jewel at Mosby Middle School.
Pause. Did y'all hear what he called me?
Jewel. And only Jewel. I don't do
and
no nicknames.
This man has never
never
called me any of my entertainment names. No. I don't care. He not conforming.
Her name's Jewel.
So we met in middle school.
At 11 years old.
At 11 years old.
She was in honors.
I was.
Because she's smart.
A little bit.
And I was in a program called Avid. Mm-hmm. Avid was...
a little bit smart, but not as smart as I was.
You could say that. But both of us were basically segregated.
That's true.
We didn't get a chance to go to general education classes outside of
and we learned
art.
about segregation early.
We did learn about segregation early. We were the privileged kids at Mosby for sure.
The projects and poor.
Yeah,
but we privileged.
Right. So we went. I went from there to Armstrong High School.
Crazy.
And then
crazy with Armstrong.
Yeah, Armstrong was the better school. We'll talk about
was
that.
it?
It was.
We are not about to have.
It was best for me. I'll say that.
Shout out to John F. Kennedy High School because he tried to play me.
John F. Kennedy High School was my choice.
Better choice.
No, it wasn't. Originally,
better choice.
It's because at Luxfield, everybody went to Kennedy.
All right.
So we're
not gonna do the Avid battle, y'all. I just want y'all to know backstory.
Yeah.
Armstrong and Kennedy were two separate schools. This backstory for y'all. That's why we fighting like this. Two separate schools. The schools were totally separate, and then at some point the school board decided they didn't have enough funding, so they wanted to join the schools together.
They merged them.
They merged us, but they kept Kennedy's building, but took Armstrong's name. Long story short, and that was how me and D were pushed together again.
Yeah. So middle school, we finished 8th grade.
Yep.
And then typically you were divided. You go to Kennedy, one group go to Kennedy, next group go to Armstrong. I went to Armstrong.
I went to Kennedy. And then the world changed.
And then the world altered when we were juniors.
Yeah.
I believe, rising juniors.
But you didn't graduate. You graduated 06, right?
I graduated because I played sports. I had a reason to leave.
So they merged us, y'all. And just because we're going to go into the segue of how we got here, but just backstory to that, let me tell you what I'm trying to tell y'all. That RPS has never given about our education, because at this point when we were telling the story, he's saying he didn't age out because he was in athletics. But me, I was not in athletics. So for me, I was already in honors classes. So by the time I got to the 10th grade, I was doing 11th grade classes.
Yeah, me too.
By the time I got to 11th grade, I was doing 12th grade classes. Right. So instead of them worrying about what I would do next, they skipped me to the 12th grade.
Correct.
That's what happened.
Correct.
And the reason why he didn't have that, or maybe you had the option, but you didn't choose that, was because athletics.
Yeah, if I knew what I knew then, now it would have been dual enrollment.
Yeah, and absolutely. That they didn't offer. They did not offer though. So that wouldn't even have worked for us.
Early.
Yep.
And to be honest, maybe they didn't. All they knew was what they knew. I like to be glass half full, right? And it's not even on like a political trip. It's all they knew is what they knew.
I just think that's.
I do too. I don't disagree. I'm saying,
they knew better.
In our time, we would have been candidates for dual enrollment. We would have finished high school with an associate's degree.
My daughter.
Yeah.
My daughter. Shout out to my daughter Kiana. You know my sister Kia. That's her daughter.
Right.
She graduated with her associates and her high school
From where?
diploma. J Sarge. Her associates from J Sarge.
What high school?
I can't even say shit. TJ.
Yeah, Evolution Real though.
Probably.
We would have been candidates for that.
Okay.
Right.
But we was in the wrong part of town.
Well, we was born the wrong generation. Yeah, we was born the wrong generation. It wasn't so much that. Now, some children may have done it. I don't know, but you know,
we wasn't there.
We just weren't afforded that.
Y'all was born in the right generation.
Right. But everything.
Thank you.
Yeah, and everything ain't for everybody.
And
You know, so go ahead. I'm sorry.
Oh, no, you good. So, yeah, we know about you. We know. As a matter of fact, I'll take it back. Y'all, go listen to some music, and we going to give y'all 5 minutes. We'll be right back.
See, I wanted to get into.
Now we going to get into the next one.
3.
All right, welcome back. So if you're just choosing in, y'all, tuning in, we're at X the Water or Cross the Water podcast, and I got my beautiful special guest with me, one of my childhood friends, Dr. Doron Battle. You heard how I say doctor. I don't care. It's my Marilyn Monroe. It's doctor. All right, y'all. So if y'all just tuning in, we're picking up right where we left off, talking about the differences of just education. So you said you did not go to a traditional college.
No.
So what's the backstory to there?
So out of high school, junior year, senior year, you're getting recruited a little bit, but nothing too much that make you want to do something.
Right.
And then my peers and I from my travel ball team got into a crazy fight altercation because we just city kids.
Yeah.
But, that was 2006.
You was fighting?
We would fight a little bit, right? And so after high school, I had some more eligibility on that travel circuit baseball thing.
Okay.
And then once it fizzles out, I'm 18, 19 at that time.
You don't know what you're about to do.
You don't know, right? And there's not a lot of guiding lights that way. That's like, hey, you need to look into this.
And we don't have guiding lights.
And that's just the way we grew up. And so then I got a job with the city of Richmond.
Yes.
At like 18 or 19 maybe. So I was working there.
They needed you. I want to say that they needed you though.
Right.
Because
I needed them. That's what saved my life.
I mean, but also they needed you. Go ahead.
Right. So at 18, 19 years old, I was just only this is before any college education. Mm-hmm. Right. I was an auto mechanic, changing police cars, tires, and oil. Right.
Okay.
And it was this OG named Eugene. I actually wrote him in my dedication to my dissertation.
Okay.
When I finished school.
Did you put me in this thing?
I did it, but I put Gene in there, right? Because Gene was the reason.
Do you know how boosted I would have been if you would have been like, yeah, I said that.
I want to thank Jules.
Lord, okay. I just because I feel like okay.
Right. But Gene told me he like you doing little mechanic stuff. He's like, man, your hands too soft to be a mechanic. Like you got hands like my woman, you know. And so it hurt my feelings because you're a little city kid. You're like, man, who you talking to? You know,
because I'm definitely not soft.
You know, so he was like, man, you need to push paper. That's what he told me. You need to push paper. You too smart to be in here. And he would tease me about my handwriting. He's like, man, look at your handwriting.
You definitely have pretty handwriting.
Look at his handwriting. He don't have no business here. So he cut me off.
I love that.
He stopped talking to me.
Not the cutoff, it was your come up. The cutoff was the come up.
Talking to me.
I love that.
We would get lunch together. Before that,
you don't belong here, sir.
You don't belong here, yeah. And so he cut me off, and I called one of my partners, Tim, and I was like, Tim,
I love this.
I need a ride to Bryan and Stratton College. He like, all right, I'm gonna come get you after work. Went to Bryan and Stratton College, took a placement test. It was like, you ain't got no business here either. But at that point, I was doing this really for Gene, for real.
Right.
You know, like
the one who told you wasn't good enough.
I want brother talk to me.
You wasn't rough enough,
you
right?
Know what I mean? So I enrolled. I showed them the paper. I had my little classes or whatever. So I actually got an associate's degree first.
Okay.
In criminal justice.
I remember that. That part I do remember. Yeah.
Yep. And then I got a bachelor's degree in criminal justice.
How the hell do you get over to the kids then?
I'm gonna get there.
Okay.
Right. So from the bachelor's degree, I started I basically ran a group home at night, overnight.
Okay.
Right, that's my segue to children.
Okay.
Right, and that was like severe and profound disabilities.
Yes.
So
that makes so much sense.
Yeah.
Because you're really good with like all type of kids.
Yeah,
So that makes
it was an
okay.
array of them, right? So
yeah.
So I did that, and then I left, and there was a lady named Joyce Jones.
Okay.
Coach Jones' wife. She I reached out to her. Tony Bratton had just gotten killed, so I interviewed with her. Maybe 4 days after Tony got killed. It was before the funeral. It was after he got killed and before the funeral. I interviewed with her and like a button up and some baggy cargos. Tell you the time, right?
We ain't know about it.
Right,
we ain't know about
baggy
it.
cargos and some polo shoes. And she pulled me and she chewed me out a little bit, like Auntie should. I was like, hey, you never know when you never know what you're interviewing for,
Yep.
who you're interviewing for.
Or who you talking to.
Right, dressed apart.
That's the one.
And so she
talking
interviewed
to.
me. She gave me a chance. I started off at George Wythe. That's my segue to the school system.
Okay.
Right.
Hold that.
Yep.
And y'all hold that because we probably got to pay some bills, or we can keep rolling. All right. Cut that out and go.
Yeah. So that was
So
my
you got
segue.
the joke. All right, boom. So you got her. You do it 2 minutes now.
It's 2 more minutes.
Okay. So you got her.
Mm-hmm.
Now you got your button up in your cargo pants, and you
Yeah.
got the opportunity at George Wythe, and that
As
was
a-
what
as a
changed your
behavior
life.
Account, it was starting to change then.
Okay.
It was starting to change then. When you see one of your better friends lay dead, like motionless, like see it. It's one thing because like and Jewel, you know this. Like we done lost Jeff. I told you I remember the day Jeffrey got killed was May 11th.
Yes, I
2002,
I
right?
share it every year.
May 11th. That's my son's birthday, right? 2 weeks later, May 25th, my sister got killed. That's 14 days apart.
Remember that?
Right? And I'm talking about in the same
year.
in the same pay cycle, essentially.
Yeah.
Right? Same year. So she get killed, but that's Kente got killed. Powwow got killed. Well, we can name them, right?
Right. Boo
But
Man.
Boo Man got killed. I whipped over Boo Man. I whipped over
Shout
Fat
out
Man.
just 5 seconds for.
Yeah.
We love y'all and we've never forgotten.
And these are people who died before we were
We were children.
16 years
Yes.
old. Like the people that we just named were before we were 16 years old, right? But it's something different when you see your shooting guard or your better friend.
Yeah.
Because I let go of that best friend thing. Because my best friends kept getting killed. Right?
Yeah.
Stuff kept happening to them. So the best friend thing just,
So you're good friends now.
my better friends.
Yeah.
My good friends are one thing. My better friends are another. My brothers are just that.
Yeah.
Right. So, like Brandon, my brother. Ain't no friend, that's my brother.
Shout out to Bezo.
You can't tell me we ain't brothers.
Y'all been brothers for a long time
long
too. And
time,
somebody
right?
who's been around the family for a long
If you
time.
rocking, I'm rolling. Right?
I got pictures of him with the cornrows in the slip.
Yeah. So
Bezo in the back, by the way, y'all. I know y'all can't, y'all watch it, but I'm gonna post it. I'm gonna put it in there.
yeah. But yeah, so that's when it changed though. Seeing Tony die, help. Yeah, like seeing him dead is different than knowing that he got killed.
Yeah.
Right, that's a bar, right?
And
like seeing his dead flesh,
seeing it is
laid
different.
motionless is different than. So that's when it kind of clicked. Like, oh, I need to figure something out. I need to do something else. So, and so from then that's when I worked in juvenile corrections at Beaumont.
I remember that too. We've been friends a long time.
Yeah, we have juvenile corrections. Well, I'm really working with the Boomans and the Chris and the Petrix and all.
And shout out
these
to Boo Man,
guys.
because Boo Man really is a Fairfield legend. So
Yeah,
shout out
he
to
is.
Boo Man, like hands down. Shout out to Boo Man. He's really a fan.
No, for sure.
That's my. Ooh.
So that's what that was, and then
Yeah.
from there, that was rough because you fighting every day,
Every day.
and you fighting your friends. Like
These people you know.
I don't know them, but they remind me of
You know
the
them.
spirit. You're right,
You know them.
and so that's how I got into the special education program at Virginia State, and then the rest is.
Kind of history.
Yeah.
But we're going to get into the history. So listen, at this point, don't y'all go nowhere. Go listen to the little music we're going to play for y'all and come right back, because the second half of this show, we're going to talk about what we going to do to change what's been happening, okay? Don't go nowhere. Y'all stay right here at 101.1 The Fam, where we got the power to be any station. You heard me? I'll be back. So yeah, so one of the reasons I always say the reason why I wanted to go to college strictly was because my grandmother took me on a tour to Hampton University, where I stayed at the college for a whole weekend, and I got to experience like eating out. And I'm gonna tell y'all something. The part that stuck out to me the most was the food, and I had a plethora of it. And so I remember leaving that little tour. I probably was like 8. Leaving that tour knowing that I wanted to go to college because whatever was going on there was much better than the circumstance that I was facing right then. And so at that point, I wasn't sure how I would get to there, but the aspiration was 100%. This is something I have to do to escape this reality.
And the thing is, too, it gave you a sense of hope.
Yeah, come on, Obama.
And when you talk about, and you know, sometimes I don't really believe in hope because I also believe in putting the work in. You plant a good seed, you get a good crop, right?
I agree.
But this generation, the way they move is if they don't have tomorrow, right? And so with that, they don't have that sense of hope. Where I hope to be X or I hope to be Y.
But does that make that generation better or worse than ours?
Well, it's not really a gauge of better or worse. It's just what their reality is.
Because listen, I low-key, I'm impressed with their generation, right? Because they kind of came in, this generation, with this no kind of, like, this zero tolerance policy, right? And I think that this generation, that zero tolerance policy is making the world better.
Touche, but how do you shape that into adulthood? Because we don't own much, right? Neither does your parents.
That's the one.
So you could have zero tolerance to some things.
But you don't have a legacy.
But at some point, you have to formulate your own thing to have zero policy about.
Yeah.
Right? And if you were not educated, because one thing that you didn't read was the reading levels of these children.
Oh, no.
Right?
I didn't. I read it. I just didn't talk about it because
so,
it's like a 5th grade reading level.
There you go. So when you think about our generation, while we're the worst parents, I say, in history, right? I really do. And I mean, I've taught for numerous of years. I've been in it, right? And then,
we're a little lazy, too.
If you look on my Facebook page, there's I've been saying this for years. Probably 10 years.
Yeah.
Right? You have to water.
I'm going to challenge that, though.
You have to water the seed.
Okay.
You can't just bring the seed and plant the seed and hope that it flourish into. You have to water the seed. And it's not the system's job to water the seed.
But pause. That's exactly what I was going to go. I'm going to say that. So, no, it is not the system's job, right? But up until these seeds, the system's job was the ones watering the seeds. And that's exactly what I was going to go with that.
Did the system water your seed?
Yeah.
Did it?
Yes, my mother.
Okay.
My mother spent, and this is the thing, y'all know I'm very transparent. So, and I don't feel the need to talk about the good things about my mom before I talk about the bad parts, right? Because follow me on social media, I talk about all that shit. All right? But if we're honest, my mom spent a lot of her time drinking. My mom wasn't that educated. She didn't go to college. My dad, truthfully speaking, he's sober, he's an amazing dad now. But while I wasn't in that, my dad was a heroin addict, so he wasn't active involved either. So what molded me, truthfully, was the system.
Okay.
Right? And it wasn't all great, right? And then I had people like Matthew Kuhn. Shout out to Matthew Kuhn. He was the white guy who came to the Boys and Girls Club around Fairfield. Matthew Kuhn came to Boomaine's funeral. Okay. That's how tapped in Matthew Kuhn was. Matthew Kuhn left his car in the hood, and people wouldn't rob it because we knew it was his car. So it's like I can't say that. I can't necessarily agree that my parent was with your, what I'm going to say is the difference between my parents' parenting, and our parenting is things like TV. I watched this TikTok where the guy was talking about the Animaniacs, where they did the song about sugar. Right. Have you seen it? I swear I need to put that in the clip. And they're dead at reading the ingredients off the back or something full of sugar. This is in the 90s, right? And then once they finish reading all the stuff, and they're like, and it keeps me up, it makes me feel good. I'm listen, they were literally telling you the problem with giving your children sugar. And so I think what changed was contents, people giving a hell, society, what's put into our children. They don't even have black TV shows. So we're talking about our children don't know the value of having a 2-parent household because it's not even shown on TV anymore. Not a black one. If they put a 2-parent household in there, there's a white woman and a black.
Yeah. Touche. I don't disagree.
So I'm going to say that We probably didn't have the best parents. I'm not going for that. But we had a better system.
Systems.
We had better systems.
Touche. I'm not arguing that.
Okay.
That's not my argument.
Okay.
That's not my argument.
But the parents is trash.
The parents are trash.
They're super trash.
And or you also have to remember, it's nothing new under the sun.
Absolutely.
Right? And so my dig at the parents isn't that like, oh, our parents were phenomenal.
Yeah.
Because not all of our parents were phenomenal.
Right.
But one thing that our parents did was gave us access to things, at least I can say for my mom and my father, gave me access to things that were a lot more pure than the things that society provided for us.
And I think for us, we have a bad habit of giving our kids the things that we didn't have instead of instilling in them the things that we did have.
The biggest thing, one of my bigger things in society as it relates to parents and children, is
he a doctor, y'all, so he can talk about these type of things.
Our generation knows the negative outcomes of living a certain lifestyle.
Yeah.
We know the negative outcomes of listening to certain genres of hip hop.
Okay,
I know these things, right? Before the break, we named 17 people who died living trying to be Pastor Troy.
Facts.
Right? Or trying to be whoever, 3 6 whatever it was at that time, right? And so we know better, right?
I know he don't listen to hip hop. He said Pastor Troy and 3 6 Mafia, but go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, that was the times. I'm talking about as a child, right? Like as a child, No Limit Soldier was a thing. Soldier Rags was a thing, right?
Period, yeah.
And so we know the adverse effects of that. The reality is, if you live this type of lifestyle, you will succumb to the same thing and that's it, right? But we still allow children to walk around with their face covers. We still allow children to walk around with their fingers up.
Are we allowing it though?
We're the parents. We the guiding light. Right? So.
All right, so see, this is where I have to play devil's advocate.
Okay, play angel's advocate.
Angels, thank you.
Okay.
Because I was just talking to Keisha earlier. Shout out to Keisha in the back. That's our artist in the back, y'all. If y'all hear me saying names, those are our folks that's sitting in here, our studio audience tonight. But I was just telling her earlier, because when me and her were talking, I was telling her something, and she was like, my child would never. And I was like, well, where are you when they would never? Because the reality is that at this point, unfortunately, that the guidance, right? Or the say-so that we think we have over our children. The reality is that the influence at this point, unfortunately, sometimes is greater. So whereas sometimes, I'm not saying in all households, sometimes, the example I gave Keisha was my son Jeremiah. Shout out to Jeremiah. I was like, listen, Jeremiah knows better. We talked about this, y'all. He knows better than use YouTube. Right. So I would give him the opportunity to go use YouTube. And because everybody else uses YouTube,
YouTube not allowed in my house either.
It's not, but listen, but him, it's not allowed in my house. He knows it, but he still gets he get a tablet with full access. You know why? Because now I'm challenging your trust as a child.
But that's human behavior. See one thing too, like we can have these rules of things, right? And I'll give you an example. Give a 2-year-old a cookie, one cookie, right? And leave the cookie
bag
open.
Yeah, they go
right?
back.
And say, don't eat another cookie, right? And you will go and watch the 2-year-old take out the cookie, stick the cookie in his mouth, right? And he'll see you or she'll see you looking at him, and they'll stop like this. And then you'll be like, you got a cookie in your mouth? And what will they do? They'll go just like this. Right? That's human behavior.
Right.
Deviant behavior happens. Yes. It's going to happen. That's just the way, ain't nothing new under the sun.
But was it deviant behavior or was it cultural influence?
That cookie is deviant behavior because that's the more natural thing to do. Raising a puppy, that's why you got to train puppies. Animals, children, humans. That's just what it is.
And the Bible says, y'all know I slide it in.
Right.
The Bible says you train the child in the way that they should go. And since we're on a biblical message, the Bible says the way they should go.
No, for sure.
Not it, which means every child is different.
100%.
So you have to train it in the way that specific child shall go.
I agree. And my mantra is also, if you plant a good seed,
it'll grow good harvest.
You'll get a good crop.
Okay.
So if you pouring into, and this is analogy, right? Get this, Bezo. Start over, right? This is this analogy, right?
Yeah.
This is an analogy. And I've shared it many times privately. Look, there's a sponge, right? You have 2 different sponges. The sponge that we wash our dishes with. The yellow and green one or the blue and blue one, right? Some people are naturally submerged in, more toxic things than others.
Yeah, I agree.
Right? The environment that we were submerged in was probably more like clean cooking oil.
I agree.
Right? Now, some people are submerged in, orange soda. Some a little bit easier to rinse out. Right? Water is like God-like.
Yeah.
Right? So you have 3 different substances. All right. So you have one that's a little bit tougher to rinse out,
right? And when you rinse that clean cooking grease out, it take a little longer to get the consistency out.
But it'll still get out if you scrub it hard enough.
Good enough, right?
Yeah.
If you do enough rinsing in this thing, it'll come out.
Yeah.
Some people are submerged in some a lot lighter, like orange soda, and they take a little less to do, right? Now, over time, circumstances happen, and that clean cooking oil, you drop a little pork chop in there, and you drop a little chicken in there,
right? In there.
And over time, those particles
fall
into the bottom of that grease.
Yeah.
But and the sponge gets submerged in it. Mm-hmm. So naturally, it's gonna take a little bit longer for you to rinse that sponge out than it is the orange soda. Okay. Now, before, it was always hard to rinse the oil out.
Right, but the particles.
Right? But now you got different things. You got poverty, you got drug abuse, you got sexual abuse, you got just environmental things that happen, deviant behavior on top of that, right? Hunger maybe even, right?
Yeah, definitely.
So you know, it's still our job to rinse the sponge as a parent.
Ooh.
Right? That's a bar.
Wait. Keep
going.
It's still our job to rinse the sponge as a parent. If you don't pick up shit from that show today, pick up that. It is still your job to rinse.
Yes. So
that was good.
So
sorry. Go ahead.
Oh.
I'm banging on the table. Go ahead.
So we have to be the water, right? To that burnt chicken grease
and the Dawn dish detergent,
right? But truly, because Dawn could symbolize the Bible or Allah or military or all these other additives, right? Truly, water is enough, right? Your clean spirit is enough.
You want gems?
Right? Your clean spirit is enough if you live in that way.
It is,
and that's why I say our generation think about it like this, and I'll lead this here, right? Mm-hmm. When we were children,
bring us home.
What your daddy listened to?
My daddy? Well, my daddy played bass. Yes.
Right.
My daddy was also a bass guitar, so he listened to the stuff.
There you go.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. What we listen to? We listen to what they listen to. It's not even really a separation or a divide in culture. Yeah. Right? I grew up, that's why I don't listen to hip hop. I grew up with three sisters, an old man, and an old lady.
It's noise in our head.
Yeah, cut that stuff off. Right? Like, I play rap when I pick up Brandon just because I know he enjoy rap.
I only play Lil Wayne.
I will listen to Joe the whole night.
I only listen to Lil Wayne.
You get what I'm saying?
Rap, that's all you getting in my car.
So, like, for our generation, although they came with their own things.
Yeah.
And they might have been submerged in orange soda themselves.
They were absolutely picking up what we put there.
Orange soda was a lot cleaner than burned pork chop grease.
And with that being said, y'all hold that. We be right back, y'all. Shout out to Doron Battle, y'all. Again, we got the power to be in the station. This is 101.1 The Fam. Y'all go listen to some music. We be right back with our wrap up, okay?
I went in that time.
That was a good one.
In the grease.
Yeah, cut it off. Run, yeah, that's our wrap up. Well, so D, I'm gonna come right back and ask you, who do you credit for your success, and then run it into your shout outs. So I don't credit nobody. Blah 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 blah. Talk your shit, blah blah. But run into your shout out.
I don't got no shout outs, Julie.
All right, you don't gotta have a shout out. I'm just telling you that's where they would go.
I ain't got none.
Well, then don't worry about that.
Yeah.
But if you had some, they would go right there.
I'll say.
Thank me.
That's it. Didn't I tell you put that Snoop Dogg clip?
Yeah.
So as he finished.
Yeah.
Pull this shit out.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, and for real, man, it ain't even like no.
It's not arrogant. I understood what that meant.
It ain't, man. Like
but I understood exactly what that meant. Like, bitch, I got it myself. I didn't get it out of the tree. I got it myself.
I had to.
Yeah, because you didn't do it.
I'm telling you.
You didn't do it.
I'm telling you, you
didn't do it.
Like, I said this one day at work, and the lady had to get out and walk out. Right? I said, look, I had to dig for some dirt and pray it rain to get the goddamn mud. It won't need no mud settled in this motherfucker. Yeah. Like, no, I gotta go get a spork.
We literally got
Remember sporks?
Yes.
I gotta get a spork to get some dirt and pray to God it rain.
And pray.
Right? To get that mud up out of there. All the rappers be like, I got it out the mud. Nigga, I ain't had no mud.
Baby, I had
no mud, man.
That's like, a bar.
You talk about saturated poverty.
That's it.
Right? Like, ain't no goddamn, I ain't thinking nobody.
I need a part 2 with you, though. You gotta come back because I think this. We already into the show. This was good. We need a part 2. I don't think I had enough of my hour for this. Yeah, I just.
Good, let me know.
Can I have you come back? Okay.
You gotta give me a few weeks though, cause it takes.
You gotta be weeks. It take a lot out of you.
It does. It take a lot.
No, we gonna come right
I'm
back.
going to, when we leave, I'm going to drink.
Nah, I'm coming to drink with you.
Like, I need a fucking drink.
And like, I'm gonna bring his uncle so that like, if I drink, he can put us in Uber.
That's
Yeah,
right.
what? What? Babe with me. Yeah, I already started drinking. This shit deep. Yeah, you gonna break. No, he gonna put me in the Uber. The baby going with him. That's the one.
$100. Let me get $100.
Me. I had to pay. Hold on. That's why. I'm glad the bitch got it. I'm glad the bitch. You said how much?
You know,
That's why.
say, Red, send me something.
Say something.
I've been working on it.
Yeah,
Nah,
I can
yeah,
call
every
back
time I
up.
do it, you do though.
I've been working on it. I love you.
Yeah, no. Right. So you gotta go through the call out there and say Keisha. Yeah, and then go past that. Let's wrap this
I'm
up.
trying to call Erica real quick.
You call who?
Erica.
Your wife?
I'm not married. Stop doing that.
She your wife to me.
All right.
No, she your wife to me.
It ain't to the
She, to me, no, not to me. That girl, she got 2 of his motherfucking kids. That's what the fuck I said. What you talking about? Until you say it ain't like that, then okay. But
No, I don't say it ain't like
exactly, that's the respect she give from me.
It's not
I'm
that.
like,
No, you know. Oh,
Give
she
me the
go
thing.
right. Hold on. They going to sleep?
What thing you need?
that little sip of that. A sip of that.
Oh, yeah, I'm wrapping up now.
No, you gave me that. Listen, you done put water in that right there already.
Alright.
I'm gonna sip of it.
You all right?
Do you realize that you give it to me and ain't sipped it at all, right? You know what? My brothers be so stupid, and I don't like that. Yeah, that is so fun. I was thinking about it. Girl kept telling me no. And then he be slow because it's like, he telling me no with the bottle right there. Just that just a little bit. Yeah. Oh, is you monitoring me too? Yes, ma'am.
No, man.
No, you did, but it's okay.
Nah. I be wanting people to take my shot.
No, he don't want me to, but it's okay.
You said what's
Huh?
happening?
Huh?
What's going on?
Nothing.
Let me see a cut.
No, we my cup.
Spanish?
Yeah.
What's that?
Let me see that.
Is that cracking too?
No.
Let me see that.
Me and D gonna say this one.
Who is D?
D right here.
No,
What's that right there?
We gonna share it. D, look how much in here. We gonna share this.
That's not D, that's Doc.
What is that?
That's
That's
stuff
cracking.
Yeah.
What is that?
That water.
That's not.
Water.
Oh, you
He put
mixed
water.
it.
He put
Oh,
water
you
in
mixed
there.
it.
He put water in there. He put water.
Mm-hmm.
So
Smell
we're
it.
gonna share this. Listen,
All right,
watch.
yeah,
we
we're
gonna
gonna
share.
share it. We'll share it.
It's
I can take a
nothing.
shot?
No.
Please?
Mm-mm.
Come on. There's a whole team out here.
That's basically spit for D. That's basically spit at this point. See, he didn't even want to drink the whole thing. It's probably spit. Move.
Yeah.
See, it's nasty. No, that's fine. Come on. Don't put your face in my cup. I'm gonna punch your ass. That's a different type of answer you for to get.
Let me see a cup.
Put that baby on.
Let me see it.
Now you put them on the cup. Stop. I stole this brand cup. I stole this cup. Oh, I stole D cup. Give me that.
Alright.
Here we go.
You ain't get that.
Yeah, because I don't know the air.
You got that.
Stop putting water in my liquor. Come on, let's wrap this thing up.
I ain't put no water in your liquor.
What you putting there?
What
Water.
we got? What we got left?
Last night we told up.
Still right here.
No, he walked out there with the cup. He put water.
I'll shout y'all
I know
out.
my brother.
I'll say if you a
You can shout
daddy.
me out.
I'll
Shout my
say
daddies out. Yeah, my
if
daddy.
you a daddy, be one.
Oh yes, Lord. And then are we all gonna go to Main Street after here?
Yeah,
Okay, boom. Because I gotta eat something. I gotta feed the baby. So that's what we're gonna
What
do.
time is it?
It's late. It's like 9 o'clock.
9:30.
I'll be out about. We'll be done by what? 9:45.
We're gonna be done. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Cause I'm motherfucking tired.
We gonna go
We
eat.
gonna go. We
Main
gonna
Street.
Kick it. Have
Alright.
a drink, and then I'm.
No,
gonna
I
take my ass
probably don't
home.
need to drink. Well, it depends on what we're doing.
And I'm gonna take my ass home. Cause
Yeah,
I'm motherfucking tired.
I'm tired. Welcome back, y'all. Hey, look, if y'all are just tuning in, I am so sorry for you, cause I think you've missed one of my favorite shows. Like, I don't know if this one just felt like family. Shout out to Doctor. You gotta say that Doctor like that. You gotta.
Not
I
if
need
you-
a loop
not if
on
you're
them
a
with the
man, though.
Doctor.
If you're a man, don't say it like that.
Please don't say it if you're a man.
I can't say that. Cut
As
that
a
out.
matter of fact, I
Cut
take it
that
back.
out. Cut
No.
that out. Cut that out.
I take that back. If you're a man, please send me. Send it to me.
Yeah.
So you go at Doctor,
Don't say it like that,
so I can
yeah.
irritate him. Yes, my brothers, go ahead and give me that, because it's gonna be funny for me. And y'all know we don't mean no harm. Y'all know y'all family here, and I love it. Let's do it. Send that to me. But shout out to Dr. Doron Battle, who has come through life and gave life the F you back, because it was what it was and you survived it. So just 2 more questions before I leave out, before you leave us, because I'm going to be here. But we're going to do a part 2 of this, because I feel like we had more to say and we couldn't get to it because the conversation was just, so we're going to come back. But before you go credit, who do you credit your success to? You're amazing too, by the way. Success. You're a doctor.
Thank you.
You came a long way from Churchill.
Mm-hmm.
So who do you credit your success to, if any?
I don't credit nobody.
Okay.
I credit myself. I mean, I did it.
How?
I did it. I really couldn't tell you. You write a plan, you stick to the script, you get it done.
Okay.
There's some contributive factors that helped along the way.
Okay.
But in terms of like that dissertation, that's 128 pages. I wrote that. And so yeah, I mean, I can't say like, one person or I want to thank God or I want to thank God, obviously. But
yeah,
like,
praise the Lord.
my mom would be proud of me if I was the manager at Burger King.
That's
my dad equally would be, extremely proud.
So this shit was all you, basically.
I had to find that inner thing that I wanted to chase, and that's what I did. So, yeah.
And here's the thing. I don't think that's a selfish response. Because as somebody who, like, I think because of who we are, it's almost a humbling factor to be like, I couldn't done this without, I couldn't or whatever. But the reality is that I probably could have, if we're honest about this thing, right?
Yeah.
Getting into a cycle of, I probably couldn't have done it if these things that I probably would have still did what I did. And I don't know if I can contribute my success. And what measures success, right?
Yeah.
Because listen, truthfully, like, at this point, I've done a lot. Like me, I'm an event host, a planner, a musician. I wrote albums. I had a show on tour. We went to 8 cities. We've done 19 shows. I've had shows. I've been radio. I've done TV. I'm a poet. I'm right. So like the question is like I'm trying to retire, and everybody's like, I don't think you should retire because I don't feel like. And I was like, well, what's your definition of success?
Yeah.
How do you measure success, right?
Yeah.
Because I've hosted, if we're talking about just my hosting resume, I've hosted over 350 events. It's only 52 weekends in a year.
Right.
Most of my events take place on the weekend. So if we're going from that angle, that means that I've hosted for 4 years straight. And we know that's not realistically how it went, right? And not only have I done that, but I've seen the world. Like I didn't just host in Virginia, I've hosted in Jamaica, I've hosted in DR. I've literally, the world knows my name.
Yeah.
And so like, what's the value of success, right? And who do I attribute to that?
Yeah,
Me?
I think I know. Like I said, I got an associate's degree. That's my favorite degree.
Mine too. Mine was associates in music.
Yeah,
my associates in music. That's
my
my
favorite degree because that's
Mine
the
too.
first one. Now I'll give credit to some people for that.
Yeah.
Because that's different. But
Okay.
this one right here was about me. And I said
And
when I
something
was
about doctor
done.
just sit different. I don't mean that's like something about the AA and it just sit different.
Yeah,
It sit different.
So this one was about me. I credit myself. It was a lot of, and people say like when they get that success, like, oh, it's a lot of long nights and blood and sweat and
And it
tears.
was.
And I did sweat. I didn't bleed.
Period.
I won't cry. Right.
But you're super humble though.
I mean, and that's just the way you raised. I'm raised that way.
Wait, so let me ask you a question though.
What's that?
Do you like? Because I always say I didn't go for my PhD because truthfully speaking, I got tired. I was done, and I didn't need it, right?
Right.
But like I always said that the moment I got my PhD, I would like call random places. My name would always be Dr. Johnson.
As it should be.
Is that you? Are you super obnoxious with the doctor? Because like, do you call everything and say, "Hi, this is Dr.
No.
Battle"?
Because
I need you to
I'll
start
say
doing
this.
that.
I'll say this, right? Being somebody who, and I don't know if you remember, but like middle school, I feel like I want every superlative or very
Yeah, you
close to
did.
one.
No, you did. You did.
Right? So I've been that. I've been,
Yeah.
I've been a guy like that. So to some people, I just want to be Doron, right? Some
felt
people, I
that in
just
my
want to be
spirit.
Doron. But if I'm making dinner reservations,
Dr. Battle.
it's definitely
Period.
Dr. Battle. If
With
I'm
some respect
introducing
on my
myself
shit,
in a
Dr.
professional
Battle.
setting,
Yes.
I'm Dr. Battle.
Okay.
And I'm not accepting Mr. Battle. I'm not accepting Doron Battle. Any of that is Doctor. Simple. And because I did that.
Yeah.
And I am very humble, whether it's athletics, whether it's anything else. But this one right here,
That was you.
you gotta
earned
feel
that.
me. You gotta feel me.
And that's why I forever call you Dr. Battle, because the reality is that do I know you as Devon? Do I know you as D?
100%.
Oh, yes. But did you earn that doctor?
Yeah.
So you walk into the room, and the first thing I'm going to say is,
Right.
Doctor!
Yeah.
And then after that, you go back to D.
Yeah.
I'm getting respect first.
That's real.
With that being said, Dr. Doron Battle, I'm so honored that you gave me your time tonight. You sat with me to give me your heart too, because this shit was deep tonight.
It go deeper too.
It does, and we're gonna do a part 2.
Yeah.
If y'all like this episode, like it, scream it, share it, do all of that, so I can get a bit. Cause I'm telling y'all, this was pulling teeth. So I thank you. I allowed you. Thank you for allowing me to pull your teeth out and to sit here with me and give me your story. Oh God, I'm so grateful. But with that being said, y'all can find me everywhere at Kokaina. That's KOKAYEENA. If you're watching the show, you can find us at X the Water, XTHE Water Podcast. This is Dr. Doron Battle, and you can find him where? Where they can find you at?
I don't know him.
We gonna plug it in.
Yeah, I don't know him.
I'm gonna put this going in the bloopers.
Yeah,
we'll plug his stuff at the bottom because he is
I know
such
Facebook
a
is Doron Battle Sr.
And that's it.
But
Doron
I don't
Battle
remember
Sr.
my Instagram. Like I don't remember him.
Don't worry about it. We'll plug it in. But outside of that, I know you do a lot in our communities with our kids and blah blah blah.
Yeah.
Do you have any resources for anybody you want to drop in and let them know?
What I'll say
Off
is
the top of your head.
What I'll say is if your child is struggling academically,
Okay.
special education.
Yeah.
Right. They're trying to put them on medication or they're trying to,
Goodbye.
any of that. Contact me.
Okay.
Let's talk about it.
Okay.
All right. And that's because, those drugs do things that to different people different ways.
I'm gonna come back for a show.
Yeah.
For that.
And so contact me or the answer in my phone.
Okay.
Right. And so before you go through IEP processes, really get a lay of the land of what this means. Ask those hard questions. If your child has behavior problems, I don't know how much time I have. If
you got as much.
you got
as much time as you need, baby.
If your child have behavioral problems, print out the most precious, enjoyable picture of your child. Take it to the IEP meeting.
Okay.
And make sure that they talk about that child. And not that child on the paper.
Okay.
Okay? Because, and you have to protect them. You have to protect them from the system.
Yeah.
Right? And system's not made for our type of people. Right? So, print out the most enjoyable, precious picture of your child, showing all of his teeth or the lack thereof. All right? And make sure they talk about that child.
Okay. And not the one
in
that's
in its purest form. Right, without any malicious intent or without any prejudgment, any of that, to make sure that whatever plan they put together is for the best interest of that child.
Mamas, y'all heard that?
Right. And last thing, if you're a daddy, be a daddy.
Be a daddy. With that being said, thank you so much, D, for joining us.
You're welcome.
Dr. Battle. Thank you so much for your time, your energy, and coming in here and talking about us to what things we should know, what we don't know, and things that we're going to know going forward because you told us so. With that being said, my name is Kokaina. Y'all know I'm the dopest host on the East Coast, and wherever I'm at, I'm going to do the most. And tonight, I was sitting right here with one of my babies from the trenches, baby, to the motherfucking wherever we got to go. Across the water. And I'm on 101.1 The Fam. We got this power to beat any station, baby. Peace.
This that bumper to bumper on brush. This that RVA, this the hop. This that ain't from here, we gon' dog.